Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. This is episode 906 of the Immigration Answer Show. How's everybody doing? Today is Thursday, September 11th, a very sad day in our nation's history. Sad to see the assassination of Charlie Kirk yesterday. Sad to see and remember 9/11. I was thinking today how 9/11 changed my life in so many ways. I don't know that I'd be an immigration lawyer if 9/11 hadn't happened, but obviously a horrible day in our nation's history. It's a sad reminder. Yesterday was a sad reminder of all the death and destruction that humans are able to do to each other. Humans need to love each other and take care of each other and be kind to each other. And there's no place in our political discourse for violence. And of course, we've seen political violence for years now. I don't need to recount them all to you, but yeah, there was a shooting in Colorado yesterday. Lots of sad stuff. It's a sad, sad time. I think it's a tough time to be raising kids. And Charlie Kirk had a daughter and a son and a wife, and I don't agree with his politics, obviously, by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm just sad. I'm sad. So when I'm sad, what do? I try to help immigrants. That's what I do. And that's why we're here. So we'll be here for the next hour and a half trying to answer your questions, get some resolution, hopefully bring you guys some peace yourself, maybe have a little bit of fun. Let's turn on the comments. There we go. Our nation began with violence. Violence has been part of our nation throughout our history. The violence we've done to Indigenous people, Black people, Asian people, all kinds of people. It's always been with us, and it will probably always be with us. But I really hope that we can come together and recognize that wrong is wrong and that we're all the same and we need to try to get along better, as my friend Mr. Dave Matthews would say. Zane is here, and we're going to start with Zane. Then somebody has a silly question. Then we'll go to Raj and T. Zane, hello.
Hey Jim, how are you?
I'm well, Zane. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. Good morning and happy birthday.
Thank you. 2 days away. Yes, 2 days away. I'll be 55 on Saturday.
Congratulations for that. And thank you for all your service towards the community.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for saying thank you.
Uh, So I just dive into the question. I'm
Go for
here
it.
behalf of my friends. He has like really a messed up immigration history.
Okay.
His name is Sam, and he's the beneficiary. Sam has arrived at United States on an F1 visa on 2022 January. But soon after that, after like 3 or 4 months, he lost his F1 status. Uh, and he's been like, after lost his status, he's been like living in the US like as an like unlawful present in US. But after that, on 2024, May 2024, he has applied for asylum and he got his I-797 on 2024 June, and he got his like work permit and like social on like December. But in the meantime, he's like dating with an US citizen. It's been like almost 2 years while he was like dating, and he got like married to the US citizen, which is like close friend of mine, on April 2025. But on 2025 June, he got his interview for asylum, and uh, he has consulted with a lawyer, and his wife is really like worried about him because like he has like all those like mess up immigration thing. He like overstayed his like visa, unlawful presence, and all those things. And he would uh, both of them like talk to each other, and they have withdrawn his asylum status asylum on July. Yeah, he has to attend the interview on July 17th, but he's withdrawn on July 10th. and USCIS has like sent him an official notice that his case has been like administratively terminated. He has those receipts and all. And after that, like he just like my question is that he has all his document and he's ready to file for like I-90, like I-94 for adjustment of status and 485 concurrently. But he's been like too worried to like file the case. So he's been like out of status in like, so what's your view on it? I just want to know about it.
So here's the thing. You said at the beginning that he came on an F1 for about a month, right?
Yes, he came on F1 visa, but 3 months after he lost his F1 status.
Okay, so that's what you kept saying. He lost his F1 status. So that
Mhm.
so last year, my son, who's was a sophomore in college, he said, "Dad," he said, "my coat is gone." Like his coat walked away, and you said he lost his F1 status, like he lost it somewhere. What you mean is he stopped going to school, and did not keep going on with his F1, right?
That is correct. Yeah, his service got terminated.
Because why? He wasn't going to school.
Now, actually his father is sponsoring his like F1 visa, but he had that is something like really big story. Like his father was like an government employee, but after he got his retirement, he has like working as like journalist and criticizing government about like the corruption and all those things, and the government like didn't like that, and they have like murdered his father. That's the reason he has been like stayed down over here and threatened his entire family that like uh to like that's a really like complicated and big story, Jim. That the short story like the sponsor has been like there is he lost his father who is like sponsoring his visa.
Okay, so to be clear, so that's good. So that sounds like he had a legitimate asylum case. It wasn't just something he filed because
Mhm.
but it also sounded like he filed it more than a year after arriving, right?
Exactly. He has no intention to apply for asylum at that time because like he has no intention to stay down in US. But
So,
that
so
yeah.
did the things? So so Zane, you know that there's a 1 year rule for Sam
Mhm.
that you have to apply within 1 year of arrival. There's an exception to that if there's a change in circumstances. So are you saying that something changed back in the home country that made him apply for asylum when he did?
Yes. The
Okay.
thing is that he's just waiting for to transition of government over there because the party which was in like in power over there, he's just waiting for in like 2023 December there was like election, but unfortunately like the same party has came again into the power. That's the reason he applied for asylum because like
Okay.
it's gonna be like 5 years. That's the reason.
Yeah, we don't need to spend too much time on it because it
Mhm.
sounds like he's not proceeding on that anyway. But here's the $1 million question. Are you telling me that he withdrew the asylum case without having the I-130 and 45 on file?
Yes.
That's insane. Has he been checking the portal? He's probably going to get a notice to appear in immigration court.
Yeah. I already did yesterday morning. He has nothing like that now till now.
Is are they already married?
Yes, they are.
So what are they waiting for to file? I mean, I understand being scared, but the question we ask here around the
Mhm.
house is, has he raised his hand and said that he's here? Obviously, they know he's here, and if not this week or next week, some week soon, if he
Mhm.
doesn't file something else, and maybe even if he does file something else, he's going to receive a notice to appear because on their records, dude had an F1. Steve's record was terminated 4 months after arrival, and now he hasn't had anything for 8 years. So
No, no, 4 years.
4 years,
Yeah, he
whatever.
arrived in 2022.
Okay, whatever. He's had nothing status wise for years. So
Mm-hmm.
on paper, they don't know that he's married to a U.S. citizen. They don't know that he wants a green card. They don't know that he has any path to stay. So, I mean, he's subject to removal and deportation.
Mm-hmm.
So he should have filed the marriage based case and then informed the asylum office that, hey, can you guys pause this or withdraw it? I already have a green card case pending. But lately had people on the show talk about how they've asked to have it postponed while their green card case gets adjudicated, and a couple of people have been able to get the asylum office to do this. So the things that they're doing haven't been the smartest things, and the smartest thing they can do now is get that marriage case on file. Do they have a lawyer?
Yeah, they do have a lawyer,
They need to
and
hurry up. They need to hurry up.
yeah, I'm just curious that no, after like in the withdrawal form of like asylum, he has mentioned that he has married to a U.S. citizen.
Doesn't matter.
And
It's not an app. It's not an actual application. That's just some throwaway line that nobody might have seen. It doesn't
okay,
give him any status. Doesn't keep the deportation dogs away.
exactly. And the
Is it?
funny thing is that he already has like his marriage certificate, joint account,
Yeah.
lease, all those things. I'm gonna sponsor him like for like as a joint sponsor, as a co-sponsor. So he has already everything, but then he just too scared to like get that file into the like in the system.
Well, let me tell you this.
Uh-huh.
I have spent about 4 hours in immigration detention centers this week, and it's a whole lot scarier being in there facing deportation than it is going to an immigration interview.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you want to talk about being scared? What happens when ICE comes knocking on his door at 8 a.m. to wake his ass up? Which is what happened to my clients. They got out of the shower, and when they came out of the shower, there were men with guns pointing at them, telling them to get outside, and didn't even let them put their shirts on. So how does that sound for scary?
That's really a bad time.
Zane, do you speak any Arabic?
No.
Okay, I was just gonna say, because in Arabic we say "Yalla bina," let's go.
Okay. Yes, I was like telling him since like past couple of months the same thing, but
yeah, well, show him this. I mean, we spent 20 minutes talking about his case. He should watch it.
Yeah, I just have like one curious question that if he filed his case like within like end of this September, uh, how much are the chances that he's getting NTA before the interview?
He might. I'd say. I mean, what they're saying is the memo that they issued to clarify things is that just because you file an I-130 and a 45 doesn't mean that they won't give you an NTA. So it's not it's not 100% protection, and that they're going to keep going. But what he should be more concerned about is that a withdrawn asylum case with nothing else, being out of status, as you say, since 2022, that's an invitation to immigration court. So hurry up.
Oh, okay. That's all I just need to know. Thank you, Jim. And
Hey, Zane, see you, buddy. All right, H&M knows what's what. Yalla bina. That's what I'm talking about. Yalla bina. That's what I say to my wife when we're trying to get out the door. She doesn't like it when I say that. Did I mention that? By the way, did I mention my friend Lady's here helping me out? Huli must be at a party or at a dance club or something. So Lady's here helping me out. And now we're going to ask a silly question. Hello.
Hey, Jim. How are you, sir?
I'm well, thank you.
Good. First of all, happy birthday
yes,
to you
in
advance.
Thank you.
I actually do have a silly question, like you might laugh at it, but I'll be quick. Okay, so
yeah,
I called on show 900, like I'm a Canadian waiting for my interview in Montreal, consular processing. Okay, so I saw a video yesterday about how they might make you go to your home country for an interview, right? Not the country you're living in. So I wasn't born in Canada, but I'm a Canadian citizen, right? So do you still think they can send people to the country they were born in, or I'll be safe?
No, you can go to Canada. Yeah.
Okay, because I have a Canadian passport, right? So I'll be fine here, right? Okay, that's all I had. Thank you, sir.
All right, brother. That was easy and quick. We're gonna go to Raj, T, and Lauren. Hello, Raj.
Hello, Jim.
How you doing, buddy?
Are you, Jim? Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good.
Happy birthday in advance on Saturday.
Thank you.
Yeah, Raj. Sorry, Jim. I have an interview coming up on the 30th of September. So I called your office to see if I can get somebody to go with me, because my lawyer said she was not going to go with us. But unfortunately, after I spoke to the people from your office, they said the time and the location, there's no available attorney to go with me. So
what city is it?
In Houston.
Okay, I know a great immigration attorney in Houston. You should call him. His name is John Ting, Ting.
Oh, John Ting? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
And tell them you're a friend of mine and you need someone to go. Is it a green card interview or what?
Yes, based on marriage. So I have couple of questions I would like to ask you. First of all, when we submitted the document, we submitted the I-693, for the medical.
Sure.
So yeah, the medical, I had, by then when we submitted, I had only the polio. I had only the one vaccine. Now I have done the second vaccine, and in December I have to do the third vaccine. So my question is, do I have to add the second vaccine, the receipt of the second vaccine to my account, like to show evidence that I have done the second one? Because the first one, when I submitted, I had only one vaccine.
I would for sure.
Okay. And also, this is my second question on the I-864, the sponsorship. My wife, she was the one who sponsored me, and we submitted her W-2s, the 1040s. When we submitted and then we got an RFE for the current year, which is the 2024, to submit evidence of the 2024. So we submitted again the W-2s, the 1040s, and then we submitted the transcript, the 2024 transcript, but we did not add the employment verification. So now that I'm going for the interview, do I have to resubmit everything and then include the employment verification, or I can submit only the employment verification?
So remember, if your interview's been scheduled, the service center is most likely satisfied that you have successfully done the affidavit of support. Like, don't go running in there raising the issue of your spouse's ability to be the sponsor, right? So bring it, and bring your vaccination records, bring everything, right?
Yeah.
But only bring it up if they bring it up. Like if they say, hey, everything looks good with your affidavit of support, but the one thing that we're missing is the employment verification letter. Then you smile and you pull it out and you hand it to them. Don't say anything. Just give them what they asked for. But don't go in there. Oh, before we start, I need to make sure that you understand that we were a little concerned whether my wife qualified and all that stuff. So don't do that, okay?
Okay. I asked this question because when I used to watch your videos almost every time, you do say that when we are going for the interview, about a week to the interview, we need to submit like the evidences. We should upload the evidences. So I'm asking if I have to include it in the evidences to submit, or I should exclude it and then have it with me.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay. I have another one, the supporting document. The supporting document, can I put them together and make them one file, or I have to separate each one? Like maybe, for instance, the lease, the bank statement.
You're talking about for uploading or bringing?
Yeah, I'm uploading.
Yeah,
I want to upload.
Well, so here's the great thing about owning your own law firm. I don't have to know these things about uploading, right? So Carolina's watching. I'm sure she'll put in the comments what to do, but I don't know if you put dividers or what you do. I think you probably do them all individually, but I don't know.
Okay, because I was going to like name it, like give it a name, like supporting document 1. Then maybe I will upload the lease and maybe the bills we pay together in 1, and then supporting document 2, maybe like, make it like a file, because on the unsolicited, they said we can upload 5 files at a time. So I was just asking if I could. Okay.
I don't know, brother. That's above my pay grade.
Okay. And then I have the interview is for the I-130 and I-485. Now, the document to upload onto my online account, do I upload it onto the I-45 unsolicited evidence, and then also submit the same to the I-130 unsolicited evidence, or I should submit it on both?
I would say marriage stuff to the I-130, stuff about the person who wants the green card to that. So if it's marriage evidence, that goes in the I-130. If it's about the person's admissibility, like if they had a traffic ticket or something, then it would go in there.
Oh, cool. Okay, so the marriage evidence, like our certificate, the leases, and the bank statement should go on the I-130.
Yep.
Okay, and any other thing like my children's evidences, all those things will go on the I-45.
Well, children's stuff, you're not talking about children from the marriage, are you?
No.
Yeah, and either one. It doesn't really matter. None of it really matters, I don't think.
Okay. So now I have a very critical question about the divorce. My divorce, in Ghana, I'm from Ghana anyway. My marriage was in two parts. I did a customary marriage by, Ghana tradition, the family to family. I did that, and then I did a court wedding. And on my divorce, I did the customary divorce in May 2024, and then did the court divorce in June 2024. So when I was submitting my document, I submitted only the court divorce. So now I'm just asking if I should go ahead and submit the customary divorce as well, or I should just submit only the court one.
So, of course, this is a lesson for everybody watching. Whenever we're talking about what documents does the government expect, we always go where? To the visa reciprocity table, the visa reciprocity table. So the State Department has gone through country by country and outlined what documents look like and who certifies them and what you need. So while you were asking me these questions, I pulled up the visa reciprocity table so that we could talk about Ghana and what they expect. Okay. So
okay.
Here's what it says. Divorce certificates available for civil, customary, and Islamic Mohammedan marriages. That always makes me laugh. Mohammedan marriages, like Christian. The old books used to call Islam Mohammedanism. Fees depends on the court where the divorce was completed. Document name, divorce certificate or decree of dissolution. Issuing authority, high court, district court, or circuit court that granted the divorce. Special seal. The format varies depending on the local court that issues it. It may or may not be an official letterhead. It may or not bear the stamp, seal, or watermark of the Ghana Judicial Service. Narrator's voice from Jim. That's not good because they think a lot of Nigerian and Ghanaian divorce decrees are fake. Issuing authority, personnel title, the registrar of the high court, district court, or circuit court. And then it says down here, so there's rules about dissolution of civil marriage, customary marriage, or Islamic marriages. So you had a civil and a customary, right?
Yes.
So for the civil one, you need documentation of the dissolution of a civil marriage by decree from a high court, district court, or circuit. So actually, it sounds pretty loosey-goosey over there in Ghana when it comes to divorce decrees. Same thing for this. So what I would say is, if you have a divorce decree for each marriage, I would bring them and submit those for sure. If you only have one, it seems like you can dissolve both marriages with one divorce decree, it seems to me.
Okay, so it's better because I submitted only the court one, so I don't need to add, but I can take it with me. I will take it. I will not upload onto the online portal, but I will take it with me.
Listen, everybody who's bringing official documents, one of the things in the new updates at USCIS over the last 3 months is they are looking at documents even if you've uploaded them to the portal, identity documents and big like marriage, divorce, death certificates, they're looking at all that stuff.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Good luck, Raj. Thanks, buddy.
I have one more question.
Bro, too many questions. I'm sorry. You got to talk to your lawyer. Talk to John when you hire him. I just got to move on. Okay.
All right.
All right. So we spent a lot of time with old Raj, and happy to do it. I was at a green card interview the other day, and hi, Donna. I hope you had fun with Lewis. It sure looked like you did, dancing around with your flag and your red stripe. I'm glad you had fun. Donna said when I come next time, she might be rolling, which made me laugh. Anyway, I was at immigration, and oh my God, the officer was new, very nice. I liked her a lot. I think she was new. Anyway, the appointment was at 2:00, and she didn't get to us till 3:15. And I predicted to my clients, they said, Jim, how long is this interview going to be? I said, I predict that because it's a 2:00 interview, they close down around 3:34. I said, because it's 2:00, they're probably going to be behind schedule, which they were, an hour, 75 minutes late. I said, I bet we end up waiting in the waiting room longer than we end up in the interview. Also true. 45 minutes was the interview. It seemed like forever, though, I'll tell you. Anyway, the officer was really grateful for me and the job that our team did. I should tell our team this. I didn't, so I should. I will do that when we're done. Here for Fun says he was hogging the mic. That's funny. Anyway, the officer complimented us on how organized we were. Of course, this was a young couple, so they didn't have divorce decrees. And the officer said, oh my God, divorce decrees are the bane of my existence. These people come in, you guys are very organized, you know your stuff, you know your case, everything looks good, recommended for approval, all that stuff. She said, but you wouldn't believe some of these people who come in here without lawyers. They're a mess, they don't have any of their documents, they make me issue requests for evidences or notices of continuance. And she just threw out this line, and I wrote it down. It's in my notes. And it was something like, because I thought it was a good quote for a video. It was something like, why do you make my life so complicated? Like, that's what the officer was saying. And she was saying it in a nice way. She wasn't complaining to us, but she said, you know, with some of these people, you're just like, oh my God, they're making my life as an immigration officer so much harder than it needs to be because they're so disorganized, because they don't have their divorce decrees, because they don't have their death certificates. So putting away all the legalities and everything else about having a good organized file, maybe by working with a lawyer who knows what they're doing, putting all that legal stuff aside and Trump aside, all that stuff, at the end of the day, you're sitting across the table from an officer who has to review these kinds of cases all day long. And if you ask yourself, who are they going to like better? Who are they going to go to bat for? Who are they going to recommend for approval faster? Someone who comes in completely well organized, has all their documents in a row, has all their identity documents, and presents it to the officer in a nice, clean package, or somebody who comes in with the plastic grocery bags full of documents, all sort of sorted out, and they're digging around and wasting time. And the officer's like, look, dude, we got lots of rules now. We got the computer not working right. If you can make my life easier, that's going to be a much better thing. So you really need to think about that. You really, really need to think about that. All right. I don't know why everyone's announcing that they're in the green room. That's great. You're in the green room. We'll get to you when we can. We take one person at a time and we don't complain. All right. T, then Lauren, then Bailey. Hello, T.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for your time. So my question is, my mom has been in the US on a visiting visa for like 3 months now. I am a US citizen, and I'm thinking, can I file for her while she's here on a visiting visa, or how do I go about it? And what kind of what forms can I file for her while she's here?
Is this something new that you just thought of, or is this something mom was planning all along?
No, she has been coming to the US in the last 5 years, and she never overstayed. She's been going and coming. So
okay. So as a US citizen, you can file an I-130 petition for your mother and an I-45, and she can get lawful permanent residence in the United States. So the way that you do it is the forms you have to file are the I-130 petition. That's me, T, a U.S. citizen sponsoring my mom. She's my mom, and I'll prove to you that she's my mom. An I-130A document, which is all the background information about your mom.
Okay.
Then mom files an I-45, which is I want to adjust my status from B1, B2 visitor visa to lawful permanent residence. We'll apply for a work card for mom, even if she's never going to work, because that'll be her identity document while the case is pending. It's only an extra $260 if you file it with the green card application. So I would do that, even if she's not going to work, because that'll get her social security number. If she wants to get a state ID, all that good stuff. That's good. Then she could file for a travel document, but I wouldn't want her to leave until she gets her green card anyway. So unless she thinks she might have some medical emergency to go back home, I might save the $700 or so on that. But if she wants to, she can. And then there's two more things. You have to file, you, T, have to file an I-864. That's a document that says that you're going to support your mom. And they make enough money to do that. So as a single person, it'd be about $30,000 each of the last 3 years on your taxes. And then the last thing is mom has to go to a doctor and get a civil surgeon exam. If she has her vaccination records, it'll be cheaper and faster if she can get those from back home. Otherwise, she'll just get shots here in the United States, and then the doctor will certify that she's good to go health-wise and admissible for health reasons.
Okay, sir. One more question. When can I file this? Since she's been here for 3 months, do I need to wait longer or just file now?
You can file now.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, if you need any help, let us know.
Okay, all right. Thank you, sir.
Bye, T. Lauren, hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Good. I don't know if you remember me. I came on the show a little bit ago talking about my I-130, I-145 with my husband and how we had a mess with our lawyers, and you said my intuition kind of saved us. I'm not sure if you remember, but it's okay. So basically, my husband came into the United States when he was 19 years old. He was kind of just following along some older family friends that he had. So he didn't really know what was happening whenever he came into the United States. He was very scared. So our previous lawyers, so apparently he came in illegally. And what he did was he presented himself to the first immigration officer, or the first, I don't know, officer he saw. They, took him, like they took him, and then they released him. I believe it was like the day after with a parole. They gave him, a stamped parole in hand, let him in the United States, and from there he came to where we are now. Is he still eligible for I-485? Like now, before the I-130 is approved, because he was given the parole?
What kind of parole was he given?
I don't know on the top of my head. Something like 1 to 5, something like that.
What country is he from?
He's from Venezuela.
Yeah, so he has an argument that he can adjust his status. The people in charge of immigration right now don't like that. Okay. So there's going to be a fight over whether or not he can. Everyone's asking if you guys have a lawyer. Do you guys have a lawyer?
Yes, we do have a lawyer, and that is what our lawyer said. He said, we have a new lawyer. So he said, because our old lawyer, didn't see the problem with this, and he was going to send us by ourselves. And so we got a new lawyer, and first thing he's going to do when we get to the interview, he said, is say, he said he's going to print out his his A number and show that he has no notice to appear as of now, because he never got one. He never got a notice to appear. He said he's going to print it out from that same morning, because our appointment is early in the morning. He's going to say, there's no notice to appear as of now. So technically this is still in USCIS jurisdiction, this case, so technically, you, the officer, are in authority and jurisdiction to make a decision on this case. He's going to show the parole, make that argument that you're saying. He said that, yeah, he's gonna, first thing we do when we get to the interview, he's gonna make that argument.
I like that.
Okay, so that sounds good.
It does sound good. Just make sure that you're not going in there thinking you're going to get approved on the spot, because I don't think you will.
Oh yeah, no. So I'm not my worry is not that. My worry is, so is it just a delay, or is it they want to deny everyone?
Yes,
Both?
correct.
Okay. So what so what so what would make them like they're denying everyone on the basis of what?
So I don't know that they are denying people. What I'm saying is, you asked me, do they want to deny people? And I say yes, they want to deny people. So
Okay.
that's the issue. So I think this is going to be decided in courts without you, without me. I think they might just be sitting on these cases to see if some judge makes them approve them. I think that the ability of Venezuelan parolees to adjust status is in litigation right now. So I think they're probably just going to wait and see how it all sorts out. But
Okay.
what they probably want is for this. So their argument is that humanitarian parole, like that, which was given to Venezuelans, was only supposed to be on a case-by-case basis, and they weren't supposed to. They weren't supposed to grant these wholesale bulk parole programs. I think they're wrong, and I think it's a losing argument. But we have a Supreme Court that lets Donald Trump do whatever he wants. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, and then other question. So, okay, our previous lawyers had, on the application, urged us and, told us like, no, do not put that he did not work with authorization, like do not put that. And
I
then
remember we talked about that. Yeah.
oh yeah. I know. So I'm just saying, so I saw online something about like 100, the law is, it's like an exception for 180 consecutive days. Like how is that accurate? Because I've seen also so many testimonial of cases of people who have worked like for years, unauthorized. And
I don't know what rule you're talking about. I've never heard of such a rule.
oh, okay. I was just looking on the USCIS website, and it says, the law is an exception to direct family direct family cases,
Immediate relatives.
with the exception that they have not worked more than 180 consecutive days. I saw something like that. I'm not sure if I was interpreting it wrong.
I think you might have combined two different things that they beat immigrants up over.
Oh, okay. Okay, perfect. So, you say as long as we have good evidences, which I believe we do, in the the proper case, they're not gonna deny it for no reason other than just sitting on it and waiting to see what happens.
I would say, my sister Lauren, anything is possible, and I would put nothing past these people.
Okay. Worst case scenario though, let's say they do deny it, like what can we do?
So that's not worst case scenario.
What's worst case scenario?
Worst case scenario is they take him into custody and put him in detention, but I don't think they're going to do that.
Okay, yeah, he also has a pending asylum case which he filed before the 1 year.
Perfect.
Does that help?
Yeah, so that shouldn't happen.
Okay.
So worst realistic case scenario is that you're just waiting.
Okay, and then our lawyer also said like he can get the notice to appear while we're still waiting, and then that would make it to where he can make that argument directly in front of the immigration in front of the judge. Is that also?
Yeah, but he doesn't want to do that. That would take forever.
Yeah. Okay.
That's not the goal.
Okay.
Thanks, Lauren. Let us know how it goes.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bailey, Z, and Sunny. Hello, Bailey.
Hey, how's it going?
It's so funny because my daughter plays softball, and she plays with a girl named Bailey, and Bailey has a little sister named Sunny. So we have Bailey and Sunny lined up to talk to me. How you doing?
I'm good. My husband was on here recently, and you were hugely helpful. So coming
great.
in hot with another question. So I'm a U.S. citizen and Canadian citizen. I've lived in the U.S. majority of my life. I've been in Canada for about 5 years.
Oh, he was on yesterday, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was very recently.
Yeah.
We have a dually son, and he's Canadian citizen. So we're hoping to file from inside Canada to get him to the States. I'm just wondering, how do we prove like domicile and financial stability in the U.S. when I'm not living there?
So this is what's going to happen. That you don't need that stuff until stage 2.
Okay.
So stage 2 is after USCIS approves the marriage, right?
Okay.
And that's going to take 14, 16 months, something like that.
Mhm.
So the first thing I want to say is get that I-130 on file so you get your place in line, okay?
Okay.
And then at some point, about a year from now, 13, 14 months from now, you're going to take a little trip to Denver, Colorado, because that's where you're going to live, is in Denver. And so you're going to go figure out where you're going to live. You're going to look at houses or apartments. You're going to, get a library card. You're going to open an American bank account. You, Bailey, are going to open a bank account, maybe a joint bank account if they'll let you. You're going to develop some evidence that you're intending to begin residing and domiciling again in the United States.
Okay.
You're going to enroll your kid in Montessori or kindergarten or whatever, and you're going to sort of build this little, it doesn't have to be a huge thing, but you want to start pointing this case to some city in the United States. And that'll be enough, and that'll be all you need to do.
So just things like having a library card, or I have a US bank account still.
Good.
Those things are like reasonable in the eyes of immigration.
Yeah, I think I have a video on this. If not, I should do one. But yeah, that's right. Just
Okay.
I would say, because really the question that the officer they're going to ask themselves is, why should I give Bailey's husband a green card if Bailey doesn't really live there? Thank you, Amran. So if you can do a very light job of reestablishing your domicile in the United States, it'll make them happy if it even comes up. But we just want to be out ahead of it. We don't have to scramble for domicile evidence at the interview or after the interview. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. So then I guess same with financial stability. Like, obviously my goal is to work in Canada up until the point of moving.
Yeah.
How do I prove that I can financially support them? Do I need to make sure I have a job there first, or can they see like bank statements and savings and think?
Well, so that brings up another issue. So have you paid taxes in the United States the last few years?
Yeah, I've filed. I haven't had to pay anything, but
Yeah.
I filed.
So you will not be able to sponsor your husband by yourself. You will need a co-sponsor. So you will need a green card holder or U.S. citizen who says, if Bailey's husband gets benefits in the United States and Bailey's husband doesn't pay the government back and Bailey doesn't pay them back, then I, Jim, will pay them back. And so you need that person's tax returns, their proof of citizenship, their proof of current employment. And again, this is stage 2 stuff. So again, get the I-130 on file to get your place in line.
Mm-hmm.
But then at that point, you'll submit that stuff and you'll need a co-sponsor.
Okay, and the co-sponsor basically covers me until I can get a job there and also prove that I have.
Now there's one other little piece that Stephen Miller loves to squawk about called the public charge. So does your right now, does your husband have job skills? Does he work?
Yeah, he works. He has a bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
He has a lot that he can provide.
You're good on public charge. Okay. Yeah. Good.
Awesome. Cool. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate your help.
Goodbye, Bailey. All right. Z is here. Hello, Z.
Hello, Jim.
How you doing?
How you doing, Jim? Thanks for inviting me.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, I have a question for I-730 family petition, for asylum family petition.
Sure.
Yeah, so I came here to US from Ethiopia in 2012 and filed political asylum. And that process was too long. Then finally I was granted last year in 2024.
12 years?
Yeah, it took 12 years.
Immigration court?
Immigration court, yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
I'm glad you got us on.
Yeah, finally. Thanks, Jim.
12 years.
Yeah. So,
okay.
So in the meantime, my wife and my daughter, by the time she was 6 years old, my daughter, they were in Ethiopia. So their life was in danger also. So the only option they have to flee that persecution is to try and ask a visa for from US visa in Ethiopia. So they asked a visa and they got the visa and they came in 2018. Then she filed asylum for herself too, including me. So her case is right now is in pending in asylum office. So I'm trying to file I-730 for them. So, but the thing is, the way when she filed DS-160 for the visa, there is misrepresentation.
Fuck. Why?
Just to
What?
flee
What
the
was,
country. She's scared for life, for
what
her
was
life.
what was the misrepresentation, that she wasn't married?
No, it asks on the form, where's your spouse? She say he is in Ethiopia. That's the first thing. And the second one is the visa is B1, B2 medical visa, but which is not true. So we are right now try to tell everything is truth,
Sure.
to tell the truth.
Yeah.
But the reason why she did was because she's scared for her life, really.
Right.
So before I file the 730 right now, Jim, what should I do? When I see the form, it don't ask. I mean, it don't ask the anything like the bar question, like did you misrepresent, fraud?
Yeah, that's because
So when is the time?
that's later,
Yeah.
right? So what's the start date on your? When did you get asylum?
July 2024.
Have you applied for your green card?
Not yet. I'm on a process.
Okay, so I believe, again, this is me just talking off the top of my head, not me researching anything. But here's what I want to say. Okay, you ready?
Okay, Jim. Yeah.
I don't think your wife will be able to come to the United States until you have a green card.
Oh,
And
they're already here, Jim.
Oh, they're here.
Yeah.
Oh, they're in the United States. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
In 2018. But the on the visa application in Ethiopia, they misrepresent. So
Yeah.
they gave it to them actually, and then they came here.
So in other words, so they came on a visit visa?
No, the medical visa.
Medical. Okay, I got
But
you.
it's not true.
Oh, so they just made a bunch of shit to get out of there.
Yeah.
And
That's the only reason she did. Yep.
And the biggest thing was that you weren't here in the United States, and the other one was that you had a sick kid, or she was sick. Your wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's correct.
So I believe then, okay, so that changes things a little bit. I mean, it's good that you guys are together, but I don't know. Okay, well, this is a problem. So right now, when did she come to the United States?
On December 2018.
December 2018. Okay. Oh, wow. So she's been here a long time. And so she's basically out of status, right? She's in a visa overstay, right?
She got 6-month visa, but she when she arrived, she applied for asylum because she has her own story to tell also.
Ah.
Yeah.
So what's up with that case? No interview or anything?
Still pending at USICS. No appointment, nothing. Just
in the
pending.
asylum application, did she admit to anything about how she snuck into the, not snuck, but you know what I mean? How she didn't tell the truth? Has that come out in the asylum case?
She only put the form 589. It don't ask about the details.
Okay. So Z, I don't feel comfortable giving total advice on this. I'll give you some general thoughts, but I mean, this woman needs a lawyer. This woman needs legal representation. Whether it's us or somebody else is fine. But what I'm here to say is that at some point, it's probably going to come out at her asylum interview how she entered the United States, because they're going to pull up her DS-160 and they're going to say, okay, well, first of all, on the asylum application that she herself filed, did she list you as your spouse?
Yeah.
So they in their files, their own files, they have inconsistent documentation from her. They have a DS-160 that says her husband is in Ethiopia or in Africa, and then she has an I-589 that lists you, her husband, here in the United States.
Right.
And when you went to immigration court and got asylum, did you disclose your marriage to her and all that stuff?
Yep, I disclosed everything.
You disclosed that she was in the United States?
Yeah, I disclosed that also.
So you're okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So with her, she has given evidence and information to the Department of State that wasn't true, that was false. So
Right.
That's going to hurt her credibility on the asylum application. And I would say, since she has pending asylum and since she's just sitting pretty, I don't know that you want to file anything else. So you're saying you want to file your own 730 as the spouse of an asylum grantee, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you gain much with that. She has a pending asylum case. Maybe you do. But I think the most important thing I'd be focusing on is getting you to be a green card holder, because then you're a qualifying relative for any waivers that she might need. She doesn't need waivers for asylum. And there's a lot of stuff that asylum seekers do that gets forgiven, that she might get asylum, but she might not get a green card for a good long while. And we might not want to apply for a green card for a good long while because Trump's here and all that stuff, right? So I think that I would just, I understand why you're asking me, Jim, should I file an I-730? Jim, can my I-730 be approved? But to me, I think we sort of want to lay low, hope she doesn't get an asylum interview anytime soon with Trump people around, and focus on getting you your green card and then maybe going for that.
Okay. So hold the I-730. May I file it or just wait?
I wouldn't, because that's just reminding them, oh, yeah, there's a lady who's been here since 2018 and we never got around to interviewing her, and they're starting to interview the 2017s and 2018. So I think you want to slow walk. I don't think you want to do anything to remind them that she's here if you can avoid it.
Okay. All right, Jim.
But that's just you and me talking. I mean, that's not somebody looking at the timeline. There may be a good reason to file the 730. It might have something in the back pocket, but I mean,
yeah,
we just keep raising our hand. I don't like it right now.
Okay. All right, Jim. All right. Thanks.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. Bye.
All right. This is the Immigration Answer Show. Somebody's asking for our phone number. It's 314-961-8200. You can also email us info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. If you want to come in and ask me a question, you need to text the word show, SHOW, to 314-470-3300, 314-470-3300. Okay. Yesterday we had a little game. I got another game for you guys for today. Yesterday we were trying to figure out how old Jim's going to be on Saturday. But today's question is, I'm going to put it up here. Just give me a second. All right. What percentage of immigrants who get admin processing do you think actually end up getting their visa? What percentage of immigrants who receive administrative processing, so they show up at the embassy and they don't get their visa right away, what percentage of those people do you think actually end up getting their immigrant visa to come to the United States? I actually know the answer, and it comes straight from the horse's mouth. It comes from an affidavit that was filed in a case filed by one of my immigration law friends, and another immigration lawyer. It's either Brian Green or Curtis Morrison, one of the two of them. I was surprised to find out what the percentage was. So just so that everybody understands, and Huli and Lady, I want you to put your percentage guesses in, because I know you guys get lots of calls about admin processing, because one of the things that we do is sue on delayed admin processing cases. All right, well, here's the interesting thing. And the reason this is interesting is because this came in an affidavit from a State Department official. And, you know, the reason this was all being litigated and the reason this question was being asked is because when we file our lawsuits, sometimes the government likes to come in and say, Your Honor, 221G is a final decision. We have done everything we're supposed to do, and there's no more processing of this case. So these smart immigration lawyers that I know, they asked for evidence from the State Department as to what percentage get approved, because if in fact admin processing is the end of the road and there's no more chances of approval, then that number should be 0, right? Right? If the government is accurate and truthful when they argue that admin processing is the end of the line for people who are trying to get an immigrant visa, then that number should be 0, right? Nobody, they're done. Would you believe it? 85% of people who end up in admin processing get a visa. 85%. That's a lot. So when they sit on these cases, they ultimately approve 8.5 out of 10, 85 out of 100. Daisy, I'm not going to be 60. I'm only going to be 55. Don't put me out to pasture just yet, Daisy. 85%. That means almost everybody who gets an admin processing gets their visa. Only 15% of the people don't. And that's probably around the same percentage of people who just don't get visas, right? So I was shocked, 85%. That's nuts. Gustavo did get very close, 80%. 80%. Paul DP also said 80%. I find that shocking and very upsetting. Huli says, lady lost. It's all good, Daisy. Thank you. All right, we talked to Z for a while. Let's go to Sunny and then, oh, there was somebody else. Yeah, we'll go to Sunny. Hi, Sunny.
Hi, good afternoon, Jim. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Well, first off, thank you for everything that you do for the immigration community and for immigrants. A lot of the resources are invaluable to everyone.
I'm glad.
I have a few questions, a lot of which are kind of variations of things that have been answered already, so I hope I don't take too long.
You're fine.
Just for context, I am a U.S. citizen. My wife is originally of Indian origin, but she currently is living in Canada. Thankfully, she recently got her green card equivalent or her permanent residency in Canada. So my first question is kind of based off the video you posted yesterday, which is based off the recent changes they made to immigrant visa interviews. Given the fact that she's of Indian origin, but she recently got her green card equivalent in Canada, will her interview be forced to move from the Montreal office to somewhere back in her home country, or could it still remain?
Passport.
Oh, she would have to have a passport?
No, what I'm saying is it all depends on your passport. Whether you have some kind of status in that third country doesn't matter.
Okay, because that's what I wanted to clarify, because I think this change just went into effect a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, she doesn't have a Canadian passport. She only has passport from India. But when I checked the NVC website, because that's the stage we're at, it still suggested her her interview would be in Montreal. That hasn't been updated yet. We haven't gotten an interview just yet, though, a date.
So the way that they've explained it so far is that ones that were already scheduled will go forward where they were. How far back in the pipeline that's going to apply will remain to be seen. I suspect if you're asking me to guess where she's going to have her interview, I would say it's going to be India.
Okay. All right. My part B to that question is the Montreal office, and this is again just your opinion, but they're 6-7 months behind in terms of like the active interview date. What is your opinion on would it be a red flag if we did change her location of interview to something that's more like up to date with like up to August or September 2025? That's more current.
Well, I would say now you can't.
Yeah. Okay. Because I think that would probably raise a red flag now if you were to try to change it.
I don't think it's a red flag. I think it's just a no, and it's a waste of time, and it's just going to mess things up.
Okay. My second question is kind of related to documents and evidence.
Okay.
Considering that I'm here in the U.S. and she's there in Toronto, we can't necessarily have everything that you would normally expect,
Of course.
I guess. But I did use the document that you provide with all like the entire list of evidence. My question to you is, and this is like a second opinion to be frank, is my wife and I are of the opinion that more evidence submitted is better. And now that we both have our access to the NVC portal, we can also upload documents on our own accord. But that's not necessarily the advice we've been given. What is your opinion on more evidence means more scrutiny, leads to more discrepancy between what's been provided and what we're putting in supplemental evidence?
I think as long as it's good evidence, submit it. No problem there. I don't subscribe to the, we're going to give them inconsistencies.
Okay, great. Thank you. My next question is, as far as you know, I know there are some limits to non-immigrant visas. Is there any such thing when it comes to immigrant visas, limits per month? And do you know if that's different for adjustment of status versus consular processing?
I don't know. Part of your question got garbled there, so I don't know that I understood exactly what you were saying.
Oh, sorry. Are there any immigrant visa limitations compared to non-immigrant visas where they have a certain quota that gets met per the visa bulletin? Is there anything like that for immigrant visas?
For spouses of U.S. citizens?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
No, that's a great thing about being an immediate relative. For the parents, spouses, and children of underage children of U.S. citizens, there are an unlimited number of visas available for those people.
Okay. All right. I only have a few more questions.
You're fine.
Thank you again. So currently, for reference, my wife and I submitted everything. We started the process in late 2023. We're currently waiting for an interview date at the NVC. From what I've noticed, things have obviously slowed down since certain changes earlier this year. Have you noticed? I know things have significantly changed in terms of the I-130 and then on the USCIS side.
Right.
Is there anything in what you've seen when it comes to the NVC? Once it has reached the NVC, has that process slowed down at all?
It seems exactly the same to me.
Okay.
4 months to get 4 months to get documentally qualified, and then depending on the embassy, some embassies have gotten a little slower, but as far as the State Department, I wouldn't say they're going faster or slower. I would say about what they were doing before.
Okay, good. And my last question was, I think you mentioned, or maybe I've heard someone else mention, that sometimes whether it might be different for consular processing versus adjustment of status, but have you noticed some delays in green cards after the interview, after things go well, hopefully during the interview? Have you noticed any like extra time in receipt of a green card? Any delays there?
You mean after the immigrant visa is approved and the Ellis fee is paid and the person comes to the United States, is it taking longer for them to actually receive the physical green card? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, because I've heard that's like compared to before. I don't know if it's specific to adjustment of status cases. That's obviously not what I'm dealing with right now. But assuming the immigrant visa went well, they might receive like an initial letter saying, yeah, things went well, but they don't actually get like the next step. That all, whether it's the physical green card or whether in terms of my wife and consular processing, the ability for her to get her, passport back, and then for her ability to travel and come here.
Yep. So I would say that at that stage, the whole shooting match is the immigrant visa. And that's just that. Because that's the process. She has her interview, hopefully gets her visa stamp and her passport. Then you pay this thing called the Ellis fee. Then she comes to the United States. Then her green card is supposed to come within about 2 to 6 weeks or 2 to 8 weeks. And sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know that anything's really changed. And sometimes those green cards get sent to the wrong address. But, 9 times out of 10, they get it within a month.
Okay. Alrighty. That's all I had. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks. All right. I think Carol got yelled at by clients. No yelling if you're calling our office, no yelling at our staff. If you are a client and you yell at our staff, we will fire you. I have no tolerance for that. If I find out which cases that happened on, and Carol Amani wants to know which case it was, I will fire you if you yell at our staff. That's true for Lady, for Hooli, CCD, paralegals, lawyers. I know it's a stressful time, but oh my God, I should show you guys this video. My daughter had a softball game, and a girl had what was like a swinging bunt, and it was strike three, and the coach completely lost her mind. She was yelling at the ump for a full minute. I filmed it, but I've decided not to share it because I don't want to make that person feel bad. All right, let's go to Pepito. Hello. You're on mute, Pepito.
Hello.
Hi, go ahead.
Thank you for taking my call. Um, my story is like I got my asylum approval in May 2024. I applied for travel document and I got my receipt notice on July 2024. And since then, I've been waiting for my travel document. I don't know if I'm ever going to have it. I don't know. That's my first question. Because
So
I wanted to visit family in Europe.
I can get it for you, but I don't want you to use it. I don't want you to leave the
Okay.
United States at least till you get your green card, and probably not even until you get your citizenship.
Okay.
But definitely, I mean, I can get you the travel document if you want to file a lawsuit. We'll get it. If it's been pending more than a year, that's crazy, and we can get that thing approved. But I don't know that it's safe to leave the United States.
All right. Even to visit Canada, just beside you.
Even visit Canada. Go visit Montana. Don't go to Canada. I just think crossing the border right now, especially someone who is in the United States for a while and got asylum, I think that's nuts. There's no way in hell I would do it.
Okay. Also, my next question about the green card, because I applied for travel document at the same time as I applied for the green card.
Yeah.
I also received my receipt number for the green card on July 2024.
Yeah.
And also, it's been a year since then.
So those assholes that are in charge of Trump's immigration policies, they think that they don't have to give green cards to people that got asylum. They think they need extra vetting. So I think those cases are on hold.
Okay. All right. So those were my two questions. Thank you so much. Should I contact you about the travel document? Or?
Yeah. Send us an email, Pepito. Yep. info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye. My man really wants to go to Canada. Let's go to Sade. Hello. Sadie. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, hello. You're on mute. You came off for a second. Now you're back on. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, go ahead.
Yes. My question is, I have a NTA. I got an NTA. First, there was for November of this year. Then they changed it to May of 2027. And I started the process of applying for VAWA because I'm married to a U.S. citizen. We applied for the green card in 2022.
Okay.
2023.
Okay.
But it was denied due to lack of evidence. And then we had to apply again, but he doesn't want to do it because I don't know what's the reason. He's just dragging his feet. Every time I bring it up, it's the issue. And then the last time I told everybody is like the current administration, do I really want to apply for it with the climate of the current administration? So I end up applying for VAWA with an attorney. They just haven't finished every bit of the documents and sent it in yet. It's just a worry about how if they send it in.
Let's back up for a minute and hear about your immigration status. So when did you come to the United States?
I came, I want to say, I think 2008, March.
What kind of a visa?
Visitor's visa.
From what country?
Grenada.
When did you apply for an immigration benefit after 2008?
2023.
Based on marriage to a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
why it's very unusual for a case to get denied for lack of evidence. Did you have a lawyer?
Yes, I applied with a lawyer, but they didn't. When they first submitted it, they didn't send no evidence except for, I think, the marriage license and the lease that I thought I was on, but then immigration told me I wasn't on it as a a tenant.
So just to be clear, you hired a lawyer, someone who has a law license, not a fake lawyer, not a notarius.
Yes,
Okay.
from New York, because I was living in New York then.
And this lawyer submitted the marriage license and a lease that did not contain your name on it.
Yes.
And nothing else.
Yes.
So after that happened, did USCIS issue a request for evidence or a notice of intent to deny?
Yes. They sent a request for evidence, I think, in 2023, later that year, and I sent in what I had. But my issue then was the lawyers didn't tell you nothing, as in the type of evidence to gather, just in case they request evidence, because I didn't know. I had to have bank account information, my name on utility bills, and whatever else I could collect that both of our names was on it.
The lawyer was no help in responding to the request for evidence.
Yes, basically.
Jesus. Well, first of all, whatever money you spent on that lawyer, you should get all that money back.
I don't even know if I could, because I haven't dealt with them since it was denied. Because they sent an email or a text from me after, they sent in the potential of denial if I don't send in extra requests for evidence, but I didn't have any, so I didn't send in.
So why didn't you have any?
Because what I have is basically what I already sent to them. Because I told my husband since 2023, before they asked for the request for evidence, to put my name on a bank account, and he just didn't.
Okay. So that's a huge strike against you. The fact that your I-130 was dismissed and you have no real marital evidence, that's going to make your VAWA case very, very difficult to win. Okay.
Okay.
So if you have a thin I-130, I mean, part of getting VAWA is proving that the underlying petition was legitimate, right?
Yes.
So tell me about, if you don't mind, tell me about violence against you. What violence has he done to you?
Well, there was no physical violence. My thing is that no matter how much you push or question him about filing for your stuff, he just won't do it. Just keep making up excuses. Like with the bank account, you tell him to go do it, he'd be like, oh, you have to have a valid ID, which it took so long that my passport had expired, so I went and get it renewed. And then when I got it renewed, I told him about it. Okay, let me go do it. And then he was like, okay, when he find time. And then time passed, and then he bring it up again. He'd be like, oh, I need to, when I could afford to lose work hours, then I would do it. And then you tell him again, and then there's another excuse. So it never went to the bank to put a joint account, anything. I had to call the utility people, water and electric, to get my name put on bills, because he wasn't going to do it. We've been married next month 3 years, and I have not seen $1 from him ever since I've been here. I have to stay home, cook, clean, get children from school, help children at homework, wash, iron clothes, everything. And it's just like he doesn't care that you don't have your status with all the craziness that's happening, especially.
So he's sort of taking advantage of you.
Yeah, basically.
So do you want to know what I think?
Yes.
I'm very sorry that you're going through this. I'm very sorry that he's treating you like this. I don't think you're going to get any immigration benefits out of this relationship. either through marriage or through VAWA. I don't think this rises to the level of a VAWA case. I don't think that someone who's out of status for a really long time is going to get a green card based on what you've told me so far. So from an immigration standpoint, being married to him does you no good.
Okay.
I mean, to me, he sounds sort of like a bum and he's taking advantage of you. And so you have to ask yourself, why am I staying in this relationship, which obviously is outside the purpose of this show. But from an immigration standpoint, we already have a denied I-130. You now have a notice to appear in immigration court. You're in deportation proceedings. He's done nothing to help you. He's not going to do anything to help you. And it seems to me you don't really have a basis to stay as we stand here today on September 11th, 2025.
Okay. So, because I already going through the process of the VAWA, so what should I?
You mean you filed for VAWA?
Well, I'm going through the process. I talked to a lawyer. They filing whatever paperwork.
There's no case. There's no case. You can't prove the underlying marriage, and you can't prove any physical abuse. It's not a VAWA case. I mean, I'm sure there's a lawyer that's willing to take your money, just like the shitbird lawyer you hired last time. There's lawyers that'll file anything you want. But, our core value number 2 is do what's in the best interest of the client. And filing a BS VAWA case to try to get out of removal is like the worst thing you can do.
Okay.
So I think in a way you might be one of these people who needs to think about leaving.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right. That's okay.
Okay. Have a good day.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. Just because a lawyer says they'll take your money doesn't mean you have a case. And if you have a shitbird husband who doesn't care that you're in removal, get rid of him. Especially if he's making you do all the damn cleaning and all that BS. These boots are made for walking. And that's just what they'll do. These boots are made for walking. I'm going to walk right out on you. SP Singh, hello.
Hi, Jim. Thanks for taking my call. So I just want to give you my background first. I came to the U.S. in 2012 in F1.
Okay.
But a couple of years later, I lost the status. And then
okay. I think I have a new thing that's bugging me when people say they lose their F1 status. You don't lose your F1 status. You stop going to school or you violate the terms of your status. So
yeah, so
it's not something that happened to you. It's something you did.
Correct. I stopped going and they terminated the service. So
I just think if you go into immigration and say I lost my status, they're going to get mad.
Yeah, they might be like, go find it.
That's why I'm being hard on you. Go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, in 2015, I filed for asylum. 2 years later, in 2017, I had an interview. It was denied and referred to the immigration judge. And then 2019, I married a U.S. citizen, my current spouse as well. So, and then in 2022, I received my green card. And then withdrew from that pending asylum case.
And they terminated proceedings?
Correct.
Awesome. I love it.
And then now, 2015, under the 3-year rule, I have applied for the N400. So throughout the process until the green card, I had an awesome attorney.
Yeah.
She helped me through everything. But now I decided to just apply for myself. But I've been doubting this, given my past history with asylum and losing the F1, not losing, but getting terminated from the F1 status. Like I've been kind of thinking if I should hire the attorney for my N400.
And just to be clear, you got a 10-year green card, so you didn't have to do the 751, right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely think based on the facts as presented to me right now, you need a lawyer.
Okay. So is it because they might ask about the asylum case during the interview?
Yep.
Okay.
And remember, what year did you get your green card?
2022.
So during the presidency of Joe Biden.
Correct.
So current USCIS leadership thinks that Biden was giving out green cards like candy,
Mm-hmm.
and that every case that was granted during that time period is suspect and should be severely scrutinized.
Understood. I did have 2 interviews, one for I-130 and then another one for 485.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Even that, in that case, they might like scrutinize me during my N400.
As I often say, not that this is going to happen to you, but it's their last chance to deport you.
Okay, understood. Yeah, that was my dilemma. I think, yeah, I had to find.
I don't think it's a close call.
Okay, sorry. What does that mean?
Like you're saying, I was sort of on the fence as to whether or not I need a lawyer. I think it's an easy decision.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think so too. After talking to you. Yeah, that was my only question, actually.
Thank you, brother. Good luck. Let us know when you get your citizenship, okay?
Will do. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye. That call made me think of something. Gary Vaynerchuk, one of my favorite immigrants, my third most favorite immigrant after my wife and my mother-in-law. Gary V says people don't call him to ask for his advice. They actually call for permission. Like they already know the answer. They just want to talk it through. And sometimes when you say things out loud, like it helps you solidify your decisions, right? So, he just needed to talk that through, but I think he knew in his heart of hearts, even when he probably mailed in that N400, but I bet since everything in LA and everything else and immigration keeps getting messier and messier, I think he already knew the answer. So if you're thinking about filing for an immigration benefit like citizenship or green card or removal of conditions or asylum, and you'd like our help, 314-961-8200, email info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. Hey, my friend Soledad Trejo left us a nice review the other day. Thank you, Soledad, and thanks everybody else for leaving us a review. If you have a minute, could leave us a review, reviewhackinglaw.com. We'd appreciate it. If you want to talk to me, there's no show tomorrow. Very exciting day tomorrow, which I can't tell you about yet, but I will tell you later. But I'll be off the air tomorrow, and then we'll do a show actually on my birthday. We're going to do a show because I'll be sitting up in Michigan doing softball stuff, and I'll have some time to kill. So I will spend part of my birthday with you guys because we're going to celebrate my birthday on Sunday, hopefully with a Jets victory over the Buffalo Bills, but I'm not too confident. My favorite NFL team is 0-1. My fantasy football team is 0-1. In fact, someone told me today that my fantasy football team is in last place. So hope you guys all have a great night. I'll see you guys on Saturday, probably around lunchtime. Julian made me laugh. I lost my F1 status. Jim, don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. That's for sure. Khaled says the Jets will get crushed by the Bills, and I think Khaled is exactly right. I think the Bills are on a mission. They came back and won that game against the Ravens. I love Lamar, and they beat Lamar. Anyway, enough football talk. I'll be back on Saturday. See you guys then. Bye, guys. Bye, friends. Thanks, Hooli. Thanks, lady. There we go. I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion.